Hey guys, it's Tom here from Rapid Skills. I'm still from Rapid Skills. I didn't get fired after the last video, so it's always good. So back to do another video basically. Today I thought we'd talk about fitting a rescue harness on a buoyancy aid correctly. Josh recently has done one about how to make sure you fit a buoyancy aid correctly, and we specifically wanted to do these as two separate videos. That's for two reasons really. One is obviously there's a wide range of buoyancy aids that don't come with rescue harnesses, so for them it'd be irrelevant. And also because it's really important that your rescue harness isn't part of the adjustment for your buoyancy aid. Obviously releasing your harness and finding your buoyancy aid doesn't fit you anymore can be severely detrimental. Not really a situation that wants to be encouraged in any way. To start off, I thought we'd talk about sort of, I'm going to say the more traditional method, but just the one that's been improved on really. So this is my buoyancy aid I paddle with currently. The harness on this one's black, so it stands out really nice and easily. Before I put it on, I'm going to make sure it's all threaded properly through all the pieces it's supposed to be. One of the things that stands out about this one is that it's on a buckle, it goes back through itself, so it means that it is actually removable or replaceable. Now that's not actually a bad option. If I'm buying my first buoyancy aid and I have one with a rescue harness and I haven't done a whitewater safety and rescue course or don't know how to use it, then actually a completely legitimate option is to take that harness off and leave it off until I actually know what I'm doing or until I've done a course. So I'm going to throw on the buoyancy aid, and I've left my shoulder straps done up from the last time I wore it, so Josh will tell me off for that later. Undo those. Cool. So I'm going to take the harness. Now obviously when you buy this it'll be much longer, and what you do is you cut it down to the right length. We'll talk about how you find the right length in a moment, but it's really important that you do that really neatly and try and seal it afterwards. So if you don't have a hot knife, do it with a really sharp knife and then use a match or a lighter to melt that down. It's important that that edge still fits through the buckle, obviously. Now on here it goes through this loop first, and then your the actual harness is made up of these two little bits here. If I can stand a little bit closer. So here we've got a plate with two holes in, and then we've got a buckle that just folds over like that with a big tag on the end of it there. Now when I did my whitewater safety and rescue back in the day, this is called a friction plate, and you only ever used it when you were setting up for a belay situation. But the latest research shows now that actually, provided you set the harness up properly, it makes no difference whether you go through that or not. So the current thing across pretty much all brands is that we go through both holes of that plate. This plate now, instead of being called a friction plate, seems to be called a load spreader bar. Not quite sure why we changed the name of that, but that's what we're going for. So both rolls through both holes of the load spreader bar. And we come round and go back through the buckle just here. Okay. Now when that buckle's done up, we want to make sure that this length here isn't more than 3 centimeters. I'm really bad at judging measurements. You can ask my girlfriend, but that looks to me a little bit long. Now that 3 centimeters is really important. That's when you buy it and it's really long, and you cut it down. That's where you're going to judge or measure that distance for. Okay. Now the reason that 3 centimeters is important is so that, if I do this slowly, well, there's two reasons. One is if it's too long and I can get 2 twists in that, chances are it's never going to fit through this buckle anyway, if we can get 2 twists in it. And the other one is if I release this slow enough to show you, as I pull it through there and pull that out, it's still long enough to remain through all of this. Can you see that? So it should, hopefully, if it was shorter, just ping out of there nicely. Okay. Now it doesn't surprise me that this one's far too long. I'm currently wearing a t-shirt and I'd normally be wearing a dry suit with a bunch of layers underneath. But it is too long. Okay. Now obviously if you do happen to cut it too short or anything like that, you can just replace the harness. But luckily, a couple of brands now come up with an alternative. Catch my hat. So here's the Extreme, the new Palm Extreme, and the new FXR comes with it as well. This is something that Palm have introduced across most of their buoyancy aids now, but Peak have been doing this for a couple of years, and it's a really, really nice system. Okay, buoyancy aids on. On this one, bright orange, really easy to see, goes really well with the blue. Okay, so what you're going to do, this comes pre-cut really, really nicely. Again, we're going to go through both holds of this really fancy aluminium load spreader bar. And then we're going to go through the buckle here. Now we're not going to pull this tight at all. We're going to only put it through there for that 3 centimetre measurement. Okay. Now obviously we've got loads of slack just here, but on this side, where the last one just had that buckle holding it on, this has got an adjustment buckle. So what it allows me to do is take out all of the slack that was just in there. So now it fits properly. Okay, that's the right length, it's not in the way at all. If I come and stand here and try and do this nice and slowly, as I open that, pull it through, as you can see, it all releases out really nicely. Okay, so that's what we're looking for, is that to undo itself basically. All right. The other things that are worth a mention here is the Palm Nevis, which has a completely different system again. It's a piggyback system onto the actual buoyancy aid adjustment, and it's a brand new system. So the idea is that when you do the buoyancy aid up, it automatically adjusts this harness to be the right length. So provided you've got it done up at that thing, then it'll be the right length exactly, and it comes to you already set up. So unless you decide to randomly open it or using it a lot for rescue situations, there's no reason you really need to touch it. It should sort itself out. The other side of this as well is quite a lot of the American style buoyancy aids, so the green jacket, the Astral green jacket, and the Coca Tap buoyancy aids, and as far as I'm aware, the NRS buoyancy aids, that harness is stitched in, and it is a cut down one, so you know, cut it right first time, don't get it wrong. But there's nothing wrong with that at all, it just means you just need to be accurate when you're cutting it down. One of the advantages to the adjustable system on here and on the Nevis is that as you change how many layers, if you're wearing it abroad during the summer and just wearing a t-shirt, or whether you're wearing many layers in the depths of the winter in Wales, it's adjustable depending on what it is you're doing. You're not worrying about it being too long or too short. Okay. Hope that short video was really useful to you, and gives you something to do while we're all sat around dreaming of boating wearing paddling kit. Keep safe, and speak to you soon.